Hello students, welcome to the world of biology through Jaguar classes. In today's class, I will continue with the chapter 13 Organism and Population part 2. In this part, I will focus on response of organism to abiotic factors, in which you will study homeostasis with reference to regulation, conformer, migration and suspension type of responses. Types of adaptations: morphological, physiological and behavioral type of adaptation in plants and animals. Then in last part we will share the plant adaptations and their examples in the form of hydrophytic, mesophytic and xerophytic adaptation. After today's class, our expected learning outcomes, which are knowledge based, in which you will be able to define adaptation and homeostasis. You will be able to differentiate between regulators and conformers with examples, and you will also be able to compare migration and suspension as organismic response towards the abiotic factors in environment. You will be able to explain or describe different types of animal and plant adaptations in various examples related with them. Side by side, you will be able to use and develop certain skills. In these learning outcomes, you will be able to use your observation and listening skills to comprehend and answer the various questions asked in assignment or worksheet related with the topics that we will discuss or talk in today's class. And you will also be able to use analytical skills to answer various hot type of questions related with the concept that you will learn in today's class. As I have already told you, today we will focus on adaptation, and in this chapter 13, organism and population, we will start with the environmental adaptations and how different organisms show their response in the form of different adaptations towards the various abiotic factors. These are the topics that we will cover in our today's class. Response of organisms to abiotic factors: regulate, conform, migrate and suspend. Types of adaptations: morphological, physiological and behavioral. Adaptation in plants of three types: hydrophytic, mesophytic and xerophytic. Now come to first slide, where we can see that what is homeostasis. As in earlier class, I have discussed that different organisms show different types of responses towards various abiotic factors. If an organism perceives a change in the abiotic factors, it adjusts its internal environment to survive in the changed environment. And this process is called as homeostasis. In case homeostasis is disturbed due to environmental stress, organisms respond by these four types of responses. One type of response is regulating, another is confirming, and then by migrating, and one of the responses by suspending themselves from that particular condition or change. Now, here we will learn what are these different types of responses to maintain the homeostasis different organisms performing. Here, first of all, we will discuss about the regulate type of response of an organism, where the organism maintaining homeostasis by metabolic processes. And confirm is that type of response where the organism maintaining homeostasis by changing the internal environment in accordance with the change in the external environment. Now let's try to understand these two terms with the help of these examples. Here you can see that thermoregulation. In birds and mammals, this ability is shown, which maintain a constant body temperature by varying the metabolic rate. And thermoregulation, uh, in case of the thermoregulation, body temperature of the insect is the same as the temperature of the surrounding environment. Means here, in case of conformers, they are also thermoregulating, but by keeping their body temperature same as the temperature of the surrounding environment. But in case of regulating type of response, how is the thermoregulation is going on? Like in case of birds and mammals, they maintain the constant body temperature by varying the metabolic rate as per any changes of the that temperature is going on in their environment. And both of these type of responses are also showing the osmoregulation. Now, how regulators are showing the osmoregulation? Osmoregulation process, like in case of marine fishes, they excrete the extra salt from their gills and maintaining the osmoregulation. And here, in case of confirmer type of or confirmed type of response, the organisms in which that type of response is going on, like in starfish you are seeing here, tissues of echinoderms have the same salinity as that of the surrounding marine water. Means here they are maintaining their constant osmolarity as well as constant body temperature, whatever outside changes are going on. But here they are changing as per the changes going on in the atmosphere related with the osmolarity as well as related with the changes in temperature. Now I think you will be able to understand these two types of responses with the help of these examples. Now, sometimes the organisms are avoiding the environmental stresses by showing these two types of responses. One is known as migration and another is known as suspension. Now let's start to learn about these two types of responses towards the abiotic factor. Some organisms either move away from the inhospitable habitat or they suspend their metabolic activities at that particular place during that stressful condition. Now see here how the migrate type of response is going on in organism. In organism where migration is shown, the organisms migrate to a more favorable habitat till the conditions in the original habitat where they are living become favorable once again. For example, the Siberian crane migrates to India during winters in search of warmer climate and food. Here you can see that bird, which is a well-known example of migratory bird. And here you can see that bears are hibernating, which is a type of response coming in the category suspension. Suspend. Many organisms adopt a state of reduced metabolic activity during unfavorable conditions. This state is known as dormancy, and that dormancy can be could be take place by these three types of means. One is by forming spore or spore formation. In lower plants, fungi and bacteria, that type of suspension activity is seen. And estivation or long summer sleep in animals such as the frog, desert tortoise, and salamander is also a type of suspension response. And hibernation or winter sleep in animals such as the bear, ground squirrel, and bat is also a type of suspension or we can say the suspension response. Now, here are the different types of adaptations that we will be able to, or that we are generally observing in our environment. The structural, first of all, let me will start with that. What are exactly the adaptations? How can we define the adaptations? The structural and functional characteristic of living organisms which develop over a period of time in response to prevalent abiotic conditions and enable them to survive and reproduce in a particular environment or habitat are known as adaptations. Adaptation can be of three types: morphological, physiological, or behavioral. Now, come to know about these three different types of adaptation with the help of certain examples. First of all, we are talking about morphological adaptations, a structural modification to enhance survival in a specific environment. As you know that morphological means related with morphology, and morphology means external behavior, or we can say the external characteristic feature of an organism. Here, one example that you can see here in plants, and one example you can see here in animals related with the morphological adaptation to understand it in a better way. Presence of a thick cuticle in desert plants such as Opuntia to minimize the water loss through transpiration is one of the example of morphological adaptation in plants. On the other side, presence of body fat or blubber in seals to protect them from extreme cold is one of the example of morphological adaptation in animals. Now come to know about the physiological adaptation. Physiological adaptation related with the physiology of the organisms, where you can see that development of a unique metabolic system to survive in a specific environment by which that particular organism is adapting in its habitat or that specific environment. Now again, see here one example from plants and one example from animals to understand the physiological adaptation. In plants, we are talking about desert plants have a special photosynthetic pathway that you have studied in class 11th also, which is known as crassulacean acid metabolism or CAMP pathway, which causes the closing of stomata during daytime. And in animals, flamingos are adapted to salty lagoons and they can drink salty water and extrude the salt through salt glands present next to their beaks. Now, try to learn behavioral adaptation, which are related with a particular type of behavior of organism at a particular type of situation to adapt themselves in that situation. Unique behavioral patterns mostly seen in animals to survive in specific environment. Here you can see that two types of examples related with that behavioral adaptation. One we have already discussed in migration also, that is of Siberian crane, where organisms migrate to a more favorable habitat till the condition in the original habitat become favorable once again. And here is the another example, that is burrowing habit of certain organisms like reptiles and amphibians. And reptiles bask in the sun to absorb the heat when the body temperature drops below normal, or burrow into the soil to escape the heat. Means during extreme heat they come out from their burrows to bask in the during cold temperature. They come out from their burrows and these are basking in the sun, and very hot temperature or in very summer, extreme summer, they remain inside the burrow into the soil to escape from the heat. You can see here sun gazer lizard is basking here in the sun at the cold climate during cold. Now we are starting with the plant adaptation, means different examples of plant adaptations with their particular habitat. Plant exhibit the three types of habitat specific adaptations. One is hydrophytic adaptation, that is related with the aquatic habitat, and in this category we will talk about the aquatic plants. And mesophytic adaptation, which is terrestrial habitat related adaptation, and here we are talking about the characteristic feature of certain terrestrial plants. And xerophytic adaptation, arid habitat or desert or water scarce condition, how the plants are adapting themselves, like in case of cactus we have already studied. Now these are the three types of plant adaptation about which we are talking here with the help of certain examples. Now first of all, we are talking about, or we are learning here about the hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are the plants which grow in regions with abundant water. The different types of hydrophytes are given here. Again, these are of different types. Free floating hydrophytes, just in which you can see that water hyacinth. Plants float on the water surface and are not attached to the soil, in this category of hydrophytes. The another category of aquatic adaptation related with the floating but rooted hydrophytes, where leaves and flowering shoots float on the water surface. However, the roots are in the soil, like in case of lotus you can see. And in submerged hydrophytes, plants are completely immersed in water and rooted in the soil, like in case of water milfoil type of plant, where you can see this type of aquatic adaptation. And amphibious hydrophytes, which the plants which grow in shallow water, like in ranunculus, you can see that type of adaptation is found. Now here you can see the adaptive features of hydrophytes. Uh, Morphological adaptation, that in a particular hydrophytic plant is found. Root and root hairs poorly developed. Stem in such type of plants have rhizome which lives for many years and produces leaves every year. Leaves in such type of plants large and flat, upper surface coated with wax to prevent clogging of the stomata by water and decay in wet conditions. And in case of anatomical adaptation, we can describe here a root and shoot system in such type of plants, thin or absence of cuticle. Cortex well developed with many air chambers which help keep the plant afloat. When we are talking about the mechanical tissue in anatomical adaptation, they are totally absent. Mechanical tissues are absent there. Vascular tissues, xylem cells, less common in such type of plants. Epidermal cells of leaves contain chloroplast, as seen in case of hydrilla. Mucilage cells and canals secrete a slimy substance called mucilage to protect the plant body from decay in wet condition, or we can say that which makes them waterproof to avoid the degradation from the water. Now come to know about some xerophytic plants or xerophytes. Plants which grow in dry habitat are called xerophytes. Dryness of the habitat depends on water availability. Again, they are also showing three types of adaptation. Physically dry habitat, where water retaining capacity of the soil is low. Example, desert condition. Physiologically dry habitat condition also can be there. Though water is present in excess amount, it is not in the usable form. Example, snowy regions, where water is found in the form of snow, but it cannot be absorbed by the plants. And third category of such type of water stress, physically and physiologically dry habits, like less, where the less water is available due to poor retention and unusable form. Example, like mountain slopes, where water cannot retain in the soil. That's why these three types of xerophyte or xerophytic condition can be there. Now, what are the adaptive features of such type of plants which are found in xerophytic condition? Again, we are seeing them in morphological, anatomical and physiological categories. In morphological category, the adaptations are related with root system, well developed with the root hairs and root caps. Roots are fasciculated, example like asparagus. Stem covered with thick coating of wax silica, example equisetum, or dense hairs, example like calotropis. Or stem may be modified into a thorn, example ulex, or cladodes, like example in asparagus. Leaves are also modified into spines to reduce the rate of transpiration in them. Certain anatomical adaptations related with their stems. Water storage region is considered as, in case of stem, these are thin walled parenchyma cells and succulent xerophytes. Such type of plants are known as succulent xerophytes. Vascular tissues and mechanical tissues are well developed in these type of xerophytes. Physiological adaptation related with the stomata, which open during the night and remains closed during the daytime. Now, see here the third category of plant adaptation, which are known as mesophytes. Mesophytes are land plants which grow in neither too wet nor too dry conditions, where climates and soils are favorable. Here you can see that morphological adaptation of mesophytes in their root system, well developed and fairly branched with root caps and root hairs. Stems are generally aerial, solid and freely branched. Leaves in such type of plants large, broad and moderately thick. In anatomical adaptation, we can discuss about the stomata. Stomata present on both leaf surfaces in equal numbers. Mesophyll differentiate into palisade and spongy parenchyma with intercellular spaces that you have already studied in anatomy in class 11th also. Cuticle present in aerial parts. Mechanical and vascular tissues fairly developed and well differentiated in such type of plants which are known as mesophytes. Now have a quick recap of the points that we have or the facts that we have learned in today's class by the presentation that just now you have seen. Here are the main points that we have covered in this topic. Organisms respond to environmental stress by four types: regulating, by confirming, by migrating, or by suspending. Adaptations, structural and functional modification in organisms which develop over a period of time to enable them to survive and reproduce in a particular environment or habitat. Types of adaptation that we have discussed in the presentation: physiological, morphological, anatomical and behavioral. And the three types of plant adaptation that we have discussed: in hydrophytes, which are the plants grow in regions where there is abundant water. Xerophytes are those plants which grow in dry habitat, and mesophytic adaptation that we have seen in the plants which grow in neither too wet nor too dry conditions or terrestrial plants. This is a writing assignment. After this presentation, you can easily complete. How do the Antarctic fishes adapt to prevent their body fluids from freezing? Try to attempt it. These are the key points for the answer. Hints you can see here. How do the Antarctic fishes adapt to prevent their body fluids from freezing? These are the three main adaptation in such type of Antarctic fishes are found. Many species accumulate inorganic ions such as sodium, potassium, and chloride. Some, some species accumulate urea, and this accumulation of ions and salts lowers the freezing point of their bodies. Some species contain glycoproteins which have antifreeze properties, and these glycoproteins prevent the formation of ice crystals. And the Antarctic ice fish lacks hemoglobin. This is useful because oxygen is highly soluble in the cold seawater, and therefore oxygen is transported dissolved in the blood. Also, this thins the fish's blood and thereby enabling a lower metabolic rate to conserve energy. I think now it is clear. You can elaborate this answer by giving some more other examples related with that. Now, come to know about all these facts with the help of this presentation so that you will be able to understand more.
Environmental adaptations. What will happen if this dog is sent to live in a cold, snowy region? For starters, it would need a lot of blankets. That's because this dog does not have the special features to survive in cold conditions. What about this dog here? He has a thick coat and lots of fur, which protects him from the cold. So, you can say that he is well adapted to his environment. Adaptation is a special characteristic of organisms that helps them to survive and reproduce in a particular habitat. Match the adaptive features with the animals. Click the features and then click the boxes.
Now, try to attempt this exercise. As you know that hump is the feature of camel. We will mark here. And the another characteristic feature related with the camel adaptation, long eyelashes, and webbed feet is the adaptation in this penguin. Now we will evaluate our.
Not really. Try again.
Okay, now again start.
That's correct. Camels store fat in the hump as an energy source. Their long eyelashes help them to keep sand out of their eyes. Penguins have webbed feet to swim at the speed of 15 miles per hour. They also store fat in the form of blubber under their skin to keep themselves warm in the cold.
Here is the system error, due to which you can see that wrong order it showed as wrong answer, but we have adjusted in a correct manner. Now come to the next point.
Adaptations can be morphological, physiological, or behavioral. Morphological adaptations are structural modifications that increase the chances of survival. For example, the white fur of polar bears helps them camouflage in the snow. Physiological adaptation is an adjustment of metabolic processes in response to the environment. For example, camels produce concentrated urine to reduce water loss. Behavioral adaptations are the specialized behaviors that organisms learn for survival. For example, the male frog croaks to attract the female frog's attention. Migratory birds fly across many miles for different purposes. What type of adaptation is this?
Yes, this is behavioral adaptation. Submit your
That's
answer.
correct. Birds migrate at a particular time of the year in response to the changes in food availability, weather, or habitat. So, this is a behavioral adaptation. Plants also have special structural and physiological adaptations in response to their environment. On the basis of adaptation, plants can be classified into three types: hydrophytes, mesophytes, and xerophytes. Hydrophytes are adapted to survive in aquatic conditions. For example, wax coating on lotus leaves and stems repels water. Mesophytes are adapted to terrestrial conditions. For example, the mango tree has a well-developed root system, along with a solid and branched stem. Xerophytes are adapted to survive in water deficit regions. For example, leaves of cactus are modified into spines, and stem is wax-coated to reduce water loss by transpiration. Being a plant, Salvinia doesn't have any root. What kind of plant is it?
It is a hydrophytic plant.
That's right. Salvinia can survive in a pond or in any water body. As hydrophytes are partly or mostly submerged in water, roots are of less importance to them. Here is a quick recap of different types of adaptations.
Now, with the help of this presentation, you have again tried to learn animal adaptation, an example of certain plant adaptation. In animal adaptation, one example, morphological adaptation, structural modification that increases chances of survival. For example, the white fur of polar bear helps them to camouflage in the snow is such type of morphological example. In physiological example, you can categorize as metabolic adjustment in response to environment, like in case of minimize water loss in camels produce concentrated urine. And behavioral adaptation, with the help of this example you can understand specialized behaviors that organisms learn for survival. For example, the male frog croaks to attract the female frog attention. And in case of plant adaptation, we have seen these three examples: mesophytic adaptations to survive in terrestrial conditions, like deep roots of mango tree help it to draw groundwater, and hydrophytic type of adaptation to survive in aquatic conditions, where you can have seen the example of lotus which have large flat leaves for flotation. And in xerophytic category of plant adaptation, adaptation to survive in water deficit condition or a water deficit region to minimize water loss, leaves are modified into spines in a cactus. These are the examples that you have seen with the help of different images to understand the concept of different types of adaptation.
Environmental adaptations.
Now, come to see one another 3D media to understand the concept.
Adaptations of plants in deserts. Desert plants have developed a number of strategies for living with the protracted dry periods and high temperatures. Desert plants look very different from plants of other regions. They are often swollen, spiny, and have tiny leaves that are rarely bright green. Their strange appearance is a result of their remarkable adaptations to the challenges of the desert climate. Succulent plants store water in fleshy leaves, stems, or roots. All cacti and plants like agave, aloe, elephant trees, and many euphorbias are succulent plants. Succulents have shallow root systems which can extend horizontally but rarely go deep. The saguaro cactus has roots only 2.5 cm under the ground, so it can soak up the rain or dew before it evaporates. To prevent water evaporating, the stems and leaves have waxy cuticles to make them waterproof. The saguaro also has a spongy inside layer so it can hold water. It has a stretchy skin that is able to expand so it can hold more water if available. Cacti modify their leaves into sharp spines. These spines can minimize the water loss through stems and leaves. Drought-tolerant plants can absorb water from soil that is much drier with a deeper root system. These plants can photosynthesize with low leaf moisture contents that would prove fatal to most other plants. Summary: deserts cover about 1/5 of the Earth's surface. Plants have modified structures and physiology to survive in the harsh conditions. Some plants have shallow roots to soak up whatever water is available quickly. Some plants have modified their leaves into spines, while others have waxy coatings on leaves to prevent evaporation.
Now with that, we have completed our today's class, and in which we have learned the environmental adaptations in our ecology section. And now I want to conclude today's class with this quote about the adaptation. Adaptation is a vital part of response to the challenge of climate change, and it is the intelligence of an organism or its ability to adapt the change in its environment. With that, we have finished our today's class, and I will attach the worksheet here and complete the today's assignment or worksheet. And in next class, we will talk about the population attributes. And with that, thanks and have a nice day.